No warning, no countdown, just silence. At 2:47 a.m. Eastern Time, a single warhead detonates 300 miles above Kansas. Not on the ground, not in a city, in the sky. No explosion you can see, no mushroom cloud, no shock wave you can feel. But in 1/1000th of a second, the United States of America goes dark. Every phone, every car built after 1980, every hospital ventilator, every gas pump, every traffic light, every server, every screen you've ever stared at, gone. This is an EMP attack, and over the next 72 hours, this country will become unrecognizable. This has never happened at full scale, yet, but every component of this scenario has already been tested, war-gamed, and warned about by the US government for over 20 years, and the grid is more vulnerable today than it was when those warnings were made. What you're about to see is what experts predict would happen, hour by hour, to a country of 330 million people who depend on electricity for everything. First, what just happened? A high-altitude electromagnetic pulse. A nuclear warhead detonated in space, 480 kilometers above the Earth's surface. At that altitude, the explosion produces no blast, no heat, no radiation on the ground. Instead, it releases a burst of gamma rays that collide with the atmosphere and generate a massive electromagnetic wave that spreads across the entire continent at the speed of light. The Congressional EMP Commission, a real government body established in 2001, studied this exact scenario across 3 major reports. Their conclusion: a single detonation above the center of the United States could disable the power grid for months, possibly years. The U.S. grid depends on approximately 2,000 extra high-voltage transformers. Each one is custom-built. Each one takes 12 to 18 months to manufacture. Over 85% are made overseas. There are no spares sitting in a warehouse. There is no backup grid. The Commission estimated that within 12 months of a full grid-down event, up to 90% of the American population could die, not from the blast, from the collapse of every system that keeps modern civilization running. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's start at the beginning. Hour 0, 2:47 a.m. Most of America is asleep. The ones who are awake, night shift workers, truck drivers, nurses, insomniacs scrolling their phones, are the first to notice. Their screens go black. Not a low battery, not a crash, just dead. The car on the highway sputters and stalls. The dashboard goes dark. The headlights cut out. The engine is silent. Inside homes, alarm clocks go blank. The hum of the refrigerator, the sound you never notice until it's gone, stops. The air conditioning dies. The house is silent in a way it hasn't been in years. Most people roll over and go back to sleep. They'll figure it out in the morning. They won't. By sunrise, something feels deeply wrong. There's no coffee maker, no hot water, no morning news, no weather app, no text from your boss saying the office is closed. People walk outside and see their neighbors doing the same thing, standing in driveways, holding dead phones, looking around like they're waiting for someone to explain what's happening. Nobody can. There's no 911, no radio, no internet, no way to reach anyone outside of shouting distance. Word starts to travel the old-fashioned way, on foot. Neighbor to neighbor, block to block. And the question is always the same. Do you know what happened? Nobody does. This is the most dangerous phase, not because of violence, not because of shortages, but because of a single universal assumption. This is temporary. Everyone believes someone is fixing it. The power company, the government, the military. Someone somewhere is working on it and the lights will come back on by tonight. That belief will keep most people calm for about 6 hours. After that, the math starts to change. By hour 6, denial starts to crack. No one has come. No sirens, no helicopters, no FEMA trucks, no emergency broadcast, because there is no broadcast. The silence isn't just the absence of power anymore. It's the absence of coordination. Police, fire, EMS. They exist, but they can't communicate. No dispatch, no 911, no way to know what's happening 2 blocks away. People start moving toward grocery stores, not to loot, to buy. But the registers don't work. The card readers are dead. Backup generators, if the store even has one, are running out of diesel. Some stores open and take cash only. Those are stripped bare in hours. Bottled water goes first, then batteries, then canned food, then everything else. By hour 12, there are fights in parking lots over cases of water. Not between criminals, between neighbors, between parents, between people who have never thrown a punch in their lives, but who are starting to realize that no one is coming to help. And then comes the first sunset without power. If you've ever been in a city during a blackout, you know that particular darkness. No streetlights, no porch lights, no glow on the horizon from the next town over, just black. But a blackout lasts a few hours. This is different. Because somewhere in the back of everyone's mind, a thought is forming that they don't want to say out loud. What if it doesn't come back? Day 2. This is where it turns. The water stops. Most people don't know this, but municipal water systems run on electric pumps. Without power, gravity and tank pressure keep water flowing for roughly 24 to 48 hours, depending on the city. After that, the taps run dry. This is the moment that changes everything. Because water isn't a convenience, it's a countdown. The human body can survive roughly 3 days without it, but cognitive decline, your ability to think clearly, make decisions, control your emotions, starts within 24 hours of dehydration. Most people still have some water at home, a few bottles, some in the pipes, maybe a water heater tank, but it's finite, and once it's gone, it's gone. There is no resupply coming. Hospitals, which have been running on backup generators, are now running out of fuel. Patients on ventilators, patients on dialysis, newborns in incubators. When the generator dies, they die. There are no ambulances coming, because the ambulances don't work. Meanwhile, without refrigeration, fresh food is starting to spoil. Meat, dairy, anything that needed to stay cold is now dangerous to eat. But most people can't tell by looking at it. Some will eat it anyway. Some will throw it out and realize how little food they actually have left without a refrigerator and a grocery store to refill it. And then there's something no one ever thinks about until it's too late. Sewage. Municipal sewage systems need electric pumps just like water systems. Without them, the sewage backs up. Within 48 to 72 hours, it starts flooding basements and lower floors of apartment buildings. This isn't just unpleasant, it's a public health catastrophe in slow motion. Cholera, dysentery, E. coli, diseases that modern sanitation eliminated a century ago, coming back in a matter of days. But even this isn't the worst of it. By hour 48, fires are starting across the country. Not arson, not riots. Just ordinary kitchen fires, candle accidents, people trying to cook over open flames indoors. Under normal circumstances, you call 911 and a truck arrives in minutes. But 911 doesn't exist anymore. Fire trucks need fuel, dispatch needs power, hydrants need water pressure. A single kitchen fire now burns down a city block. By hour 72, the country you knew 3 days ago is unrecognizable. 330 million people, most of whom have never grown food, purified water, or spent a single night without electricity, suddenly living in conditions their great-great-grandparents would recognize. Except their great-great-grandparents had the skills to survive it. Most modern Americans do not. This is not science fiction. Every element of this timeline is based on government reports, infrastructure analysis, and historical precedent from smaller-scale grid failures. An EMP attack at this scale has never happened, but the systems it would destroy fail on their own every year, in hurricanes, in ice storms, in heat waves. The difference is scale and recovery time. When the grid fails for 3 days, we recover. When it fails for 3 months, that's a different world entirely. The question isn't whether the grid can fail. The question is, are you prepared for it?